Oh, I didn't expect the Alliance's dogs to make it this far.
Hey, greetings programs, it's BZ from A7 Video bringing you my review for Star Ocean First Departure for the PSP, and I'd like to talk about two administrative notes before I jump into the review headlong. One, Star Ocean as a series is probably my most favorite of all time, so if you hear me gushing just a little bit, bear that bias in mind. Secondly, this is going to be one of 4 reviews. Many of you have probably already seen my Star Ocean The Last Hope review. I figured since this is my favorite series, I might as well do the whole series. So I started with First Departure. I'm going to do Second Evolution, not the second story, for part 2, and I'm going to do Till the End of Time, obviously, at some point when I get a chance to review that, so that I'll have a complete Star Ocean review series, if you will. So, with those things in mind, let's jump right into the review. What is this Star Ocean story all about? Well, the series centers around the relationship between humans in their intergalactic infancy and an alien race from a planet called Roke. Star Ocean First Departure is a remake of the original Star Ocean that released on the Super Famicom. From what little, and I mean very little, I've played of the Super Famicom version, I'd say Square Enix stayed mostly true to the original experience with this remake for the PSP, only changing minor things like character names, ones that sound a little bit less offensive. Example, Roddick is the main character's name. On the PSP, his name is Raddick. On the Super, like Rat-Tick, because he has a rat tail. On the more dramatic side, though, Star Ocean First Departure transitions from the top-down 2D view found in the Super Famicom version into a diagonal 2.5D view. It also adds gorgeous new graphics, and that's gorgeous by PSP standards, obviously, and even adds fully voice-acted characters into the fray. And with all that said, is Star Ocean First Departure the right RPG for you? Well, let's talk about what different types of RPG fans may experience should you decide to play Star Ocean First Departure. Bookworms. I'm not much of a bookworm when it comes to video games, and that's especially true when it comes to Japanese role-playing games, since most of the ones I've played seem overblown, contrived, or even downright convoluted, at least to me. Star Ocean First Departure is none of the above, though. In a word, I felt the storyline, characters, and the overall point of the narrative, even though it gets a little bit preachy at the end, were outstanding, if cliched. Space travelers from Earth venture out to investigate the origins of a global biological attack levied against the planet Roke. In order to deal with the situation, they need to travel back in time and, of course, unravel a mystery that goes far deeper than any of us originally assume. Star Ocean First Departure is succinct, well-paced, and surprisingly very interesting to unfold. If you're a bookworm, I think Star Ocean First Departure will definitely be up your alley. Action junkies. Action in RPGs always comes down to the combat system. Star Ocean First Departure sports what I'd like to call a hybrid combat system, one that's not full-on action, nor is it entirely turn-based. You push a button to attack or cast a spell, and when your party member is ready to do so, they'll carry out your command. Raising the agility and intelligence levels, as well as developing special abilities, will allow you to do this increasingly faster as you play through the game, as will it allow your AI-controlled party members to do the same. Overall, the system works well, and it was overhauled for both of the PSP Star Ocean remakes when compared to their Super Famicom and PS1 originals. Newcomers to the JRPG world will probably find the constant need to remove status ailments throughout the game a bit annoying, though, so keep that in mind. If you're new to JRPGs, that may be something that bugs you. If you've been playing them for years, you're probably used to it. Explorers. Explorers will probably have mixed feelings. Those like me who started their Japanese RPG journeys with the SNES and PlayStation 1 will be happy to see the employment of the coveted world map, missing from most newer RPGs. However, even with the world map in place, the Star Ocean experience is still a viciously linear one. Exploring a vast open world is not really in the cards here, as the adventure spans across 4 continents that are fairly confined, and they limit your movement until you've reached plot points that allow you to do so. You should also expect to spend at least a small portion of your time being lost, as it's not always clear where you need to go next. This is made worse by the fact that there's no eventual fast travel or airship function that you can acquire. Near the end, you can travel between towns on different continents slightly more easily, but it doesn't really remove any of the tedium you'll experience traversing the land on foot. Further, Star Ocean games are known for having horrendously complicated dungeons to explore, especially Star Ocean 3. Fortunately, you won't see any crazy ones here until the final dungeons. They are slightly long and very annoying to deal with when you just want to finish the game, but they're still forgivable compared to ones in other games. Further, the encounter rate in Star Ocean First Departure is too high, even with the special ability that you can develop later in the game to turn that encounter rate down. Some may not be put off by this, but I felt encounters often broke up the pace of my exploration or general desire to just get a tedious dungeon over with. Builders. Those who know me well know that the builder category is my core category as a gamer. Give me a character or a team of characters I can mold into a superpower, and I'll often show you a game that ranks among my favorites. This is perhaps why the Star Ocean series is so special to me personally. I know of very few other JRPGs that give me this many options to build and develop my team of would-be world savers. You have your standard leveling, which affects your basic attributes, your health, magic, attack power, etc. But you also get a currency called special points each time you level up. With these points, you can purchase special abilities that range from alchemy to appraising unknown items, which can be used as armor, weapons, and what have you. Want to level faster? There's a special ability for that. Want to get more SP every time you level? There's a special ability for that. There are tons of abilities, specialties, and super specialties that make Star Ocean First Departure such a great game for builders. Now keep in mind that the super specialties like Enlightenment, which I mentioned a second ago, the one that grants you more SP per level gained across your party, are new in this version of Star Ocean. The original one on Super Famicom did not have super specialties. And lastly, for you builders out there, as with every other Star Ocean game, this one sports an arena that's there for you to test your skills, win rare items, and continue building your character's strengths and skills. Visualists. For its time, I'd say Star Ocean First Departure was gorgeous. Now it sports a clunky frame rate, severe screen tearing during navigation and spell casting, and a general jagged look. However, the art style is beautiful, and as with most JRPGs, the use of color is really on point. Audiophiles. I've always loved the Star Ocean soundtracks and revere them as some of my gaming favorites. Star Ocean First Departure is no exception to this rule. The clever mix of alien folk music with sci-fi synths always tickles that sweet spot in my ear. If you're a fan of good music and dynamite voice acting, you'll be in for a real treat with Star Ocean First Departure. Alright, so let's sum this thing up. With minor level grinding and exploring the bonus dungeon a taste, Star Ocean First Departure still only clocked in around 30 hours for me. And this is a good thing, as I often don't have 60 hours to dedicate to every game I play. This is my second time playing through Star Ocean First Departure and my second time reviewing it, believe it or not. But much like my first time through the game, I've found so much to love. While this is only one review in a series of reviews to come, I can easily say the Star Ocean First Departure playthrough went a step further to solidify Star Ocean as one of my favorite Japanese role-playing game series. With all this good does come some bad though. As is common with many popular Japanese role-playing games, Star Ocean simply doesn't know when to exit the stage. Just when you think you're done with the game and ready to put it back on the shelf, you'll be thrust into two increasingly more ridiculous dungeons to fight more high-powered monsters and continue the story further. In short, Star Ocean keeps the Japanese tradition alive of making a game stay slightly past its welcome. However, if you enjoy your JRPGs straightforward with a heavy helping of character building, Star Ocean First Departure should definitely be in your queue. And come on, the game has lightsabers. Lightsabers, son. All right, and that's going to do it for me, ladies and gents. Thanks for coming out for yet another review. I know it's been a while. We're going to get back into doing reviews way more often than I have been in months past. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, and if you're not already a member here at Alloy 7 Video, go ahead and join us. Check us out at alloy7.com. Check out the forums. Join us there for more discussion. Let me know your thoughts on the game. I want to know. Either way, until next time, friends, until all are one, this is BC, the Brain Supreme here at A7 Video signing off. Allow me to tell all of you peace and Godspeed.
Alloy.